Well, it's Motion Monday again, so I'm making my video as promised. I'm out here walking. Movement is medicine. Be sure you're moving today. If you've had injuries, like I've had injuries, broke my spine, broke my pelvis, paralyzed from the waist down, fighting back now for 5 years, and grateful. Had to fight for every step, and still have to think about every step, honestly. But I wanted to encourage you guys, never give up, never surrender. One of the things that encouraged me the most, and I hope that my hope in making these videos is that you guys will see it. Those of you out there that are dealing with injuries that were not simple, very complex injuries that cause you pain for years, maybe for the rest of your life, hindrances that we have to overcome. And I just want to make this channel to encourage you guys that it's not hopeless, that you can do it. If you set your mind to do it, take it to God, have faith, and then walk in faith. I remember when I was laying there paralyzed, just been brought into the hospital, I called my pastor, Gene Evans, awesome guy, and has been my family's pastor most of my life, in the ICU. And I called Gene and I was like, they don't know if I'm gonna walk again. And I'll never forget, he wasn't really, like everybody I was talking to was like, oh my gosh, they're feeling sorry for me. There's a lot of condolences. Oh, we're praying for you, we're pulling for you. And Gene didn't give me any of that, man. He didn't make me feel good at all. He just said, well, he said, do you have faith that you can walk again? And I said, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I decided to say yes, regardless of how I felt. And he said, well, faith is acting like God told the truth. That's as simple as faith gets. He said, it's acting like God told the truth. And I knew, I've read the Bible stories my whole life, that Jesus made the lame to walk again. And so he said, if God has healed you, if God provides healing for you and it's available to you, then you should act like he told the truth. So he said, what would a well person do? And I said, I guess a well person would get up and walk. And then he said, well, get up and walk. That's what you need to do in order to be healed. You just need to get up and walk. And then he said, I got to go eat dinner now. And he hung up the phone on me and left me with that. No worries. You're paralyzed. You can't feel anything from the waist down. Just get up and walk. No biggie. But that was my task. That's what he gave me, And so I determined to do that. So I had one surgery to rebuild the front of my pelvis. And then I had another surgery, flip me over like a pancake a couple days later, and do surgery on the back of my pelvis where a lot of the damages were. They had to rebuild my spine, had to rebuild my pelvis, front and back. That was the first two of about 6 surgeries that I had to have total to put Humpty back together again. A couple of days later after those surgeries, my orthopedic surgeon came in and he said, all right, it's time. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, it's time to move. It's time to get up. It's time to walk. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Because when you can't feel anything, you don't, you're like, okay, it's time to respond. And he knew that he had connected stuff and that I was safe, so he told me, hey, it's time to get up and go, man. So, and get up and go to me meant that there was a giant nurse, big bodybuilder type guy, young man, super sweet, became my buddy in the hospital. And he would hold me up from behind with a belt while I used all my upper body strength to hold myself up on a walker and drag my body behind me while me and this nurse were holding my body up. And we would do quote unquote laps around the nurse's station. And we did that 4 or 5 times a day. The Bible says faith without works is dead. So if you want to walk again, you gotta just do it. I'm going to tell you another story that's going to blow your mind. So stay tuned, because I don't know, God has a way of putting you in the path of angels. If you're trusting him in your recovery, and you're trusting that he's going to bring the right people across your path, he just has a way of bringing people across your path that'll blow your mind. So stay tuned. Next story is going to rock your socks off. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Be good to yourself today. Show up for yourself. Make moves. Don't make excuses, because your mobility is worth fighting for. Your health is worth fighting for. Get out there, get after it. Motion Monday vlog number 2, and I'm out. Y'all have a good evening.